Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Silver 5150 channel. No silver this morning, no coins or metal on display. We're on the way to work, and so we'll save that for another day, but the upcoming videos are going to be really cool. I keep going through my head on potential theorems or theories about where the capital markets, the economy, and the government's stance on precious metals is going to land, where they're going to end up at, and what they're trying to achieve or the outcome they want. And this one here just came to me this morning. I'm thinking, I always tell you about how it's important to get precious metals now because later on they won't be as available. I think it's possible that our governments are putting together a plan to keep prices low so inventories run dry from retailers and possibly even from some of the shopping sites like eBay and Amazon. And right as the inventories are at a critical point, and that people are trying to get whatever's left, that's when they'll bring up stuff as official and say, hey, we're actually looking at monetizing gold and silver again into the economy. We're going to allow the gold and silver coin or even bars, bullion grade silver, to be part of the monetary fabric. And of course, at that point, everyone will be rushing to get it. Now, who's going to have the metal at that time? Who's probably going to have the metal is going to be the government. They're going to have plenty in their strategic reserve because they're acquiring it right now, by the way. The United States government, along with other governments around the world, they're acquiring metal. In most cases, gold. If you've been following any of the London gold pool or Fort Knox activity, you know that a lot of European countries whose gold was stored in the United States after World War II, they have made a call to repatriate their gold back to their country. Germany, they were probably one of the first out of the gate. France was actually first out of the gate when they had Charles de Gaulle. He jumped all over the United States in the 50s, saying that we don't need you guys to keep our gold. We want our gold over here. So I think France got their gold first. And in recent years here, Germany and, a lot of the other countries in the European Union or the Slovak Republic, they've been repatriating their gold back to their country. It's not great amounts of gold, but the point is that countries are preparing themselves for the very thing I'm talking about. And that is, out of control inflation, all right? And a change in the monetary system. When a lot of these assets and stuff go bankrupt, talking about bank instruments and all these different kinds of derivatives and whatnot, governments have a lot of wealth tied up in those too. They want to be able to back themselves up or backstop themselves when this happens. So they're, quietly behind the scenes, you'll hear a story here and there, they are armoring themselves up with precious metal, either what they have owned in the past or what they're acquiring now. China and Russia are probably the most active, with India right behind them. We're talking populations that, amount into the tens of millions, the hundreds of millions in some cases. Anyway, so what does this mean? This means that, right now, if you're paying attention, you can see there's plenty available, gold and silver, on retailers and stuff like that. But as inventories start running dry, governments are going to start openly speaking about precious metals as something you should have. And they're going to do that on purpose, everything riled up. And what their hope is, I think, is that you'll have to come to them, or you'll have to, basically kowtow to them to get what you need in terms of precious metal, or you'll have to come to a stacker like myself. So who's going to have the metal at that time? It's going to be stackers, people that are acquiring it now, and it could be your next door neighbor for all you know, and of course governments. So again, if you know that governments are always going to protect themselves, they're always going to position themselves to be in control or be in power or, have the freedom and flexibility to influence things, why wouldn't you want to be like them? Why wouldn't you want to do what they do? And this is what they're doing. They're acquiring precious metal, okay, to position themselves for when they change the rules and change the, dynamics of the financial system. And you should be doing the same thing. Anything helps. Even copper at this point. If you can get a hold of copper grade, bullion grade copper, of course, bullion grade silver is absolutely ideal in terms of the value. And then, gold, if you can get it. And any precious metal, any kind of store of wealth that's, a hard asset that's going to work. Real estate, I've said before, is for those who know what the heck they're doing and they've got the capital to do it. But for regular folks like us that only have a little bit of money to spend at a time, precious metals is the way to go. It's an excellent store of wealth. I'll do a video on long-term savings and short-term savings using precious metal, and then show you how liquid this stuff is. It really is not that bad. So anyway, that's my morning on the way to work message to you folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And we will see you later this month with some really cool things on display. All right, take care.